Weeks before her death, Left Eye eerily predicted the tragedy would take place, and even claimed to have been followed around by a spirit after experiencing another tragic event. It was reported that while she was a passenger in her rented minibus, Left Eye's personal assistant, Stephanie Patterson, fatally struck a 10-year-old boy after he darted in front of their vehicle. This documentary that she was filming was titled The Last Days of Left Eye, and there's a lot of really scary aspects to it. I mean, a lot of dark energy. I mean, granted, this is when she died, but also multiple people died.
Part of the purpose of the documentary is so that people can get to know me up close and personal.
To get me, that, you know, in a month you see some major changes. That's what this trip is all about. Coming here and getting the stuff on tape so you can see what 30 days.
There's something so scary and eerie about this. It seems like the intro to like a horror documentary, which it kind of is, because it's giving me like a Leah vibe. She went to go film this music video and ended up dying. She went to go and film this documentary, ended up dying.
Days in the bush can do for you.
I want to talk a little bit about that little boy, because just days before Left Eye was killed, this little boy in Honduras was hit by her assistant. They rushed him to a hospital. Left Eye actually cradled the dying boy while they tried to perform mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. He tragically died the next day, and Left Eye paid for his medical bills and funeral costs, even choosing his coffin. Okay, wow. And maybe this is kind of the spiritual energy that she's referring to, or that she felt in hindsight. Oh God, can you imagine this is like production, like TV, people watching this?
Let's say a response today. The brain, it looks like it's not functioning, and we are afraid that we have brain death.
So they're saying the brain looks like it's not functioning in the child.
Whatever they decide to do, we can help.
Okay.
Whatever choices they make, we can help pay for it or whatever.
I mean, this is crazy television. I'm sure VH1 was just so excited until their star ultimately died. Similarly, in a car accident, which it seems like there's some bad driving situations over there. I don't know. The lawyer said they assumed responsibility. The family did not want to give Stephanie a hassle, saying, should we have called the police? And, you know, ultimately they felt that they were cooperating, so they didn't want to go and get her personal assistant wrapped up, especially some legal troubles in a foreign country. They never reported the incident to police. Lisa paid $3,700 to cover the hospital bills and gave the family $925 for the funeral. Let's go back to this VH1 piece and watch a little bit more about this moment. Now, the family didn't realize that Lisa, Left Eye, was famous until later on. But an expert actually claims that this probably sent Left Eye into a fragile state of mind and an even darker mood. In her final documentary, she spoke about the kid and the incident and explained that she believed a spirit was stalking her in the weeks before her death. Quote, in the final weeks of her life, she describes a feeling like she's being followed. His last name was Lopes, an ominous foretelling of her future. The rapper, who was a highly spiritual individual, believed the spirit has been following her and is meant to kill her, but accidentally killed the boy instead. And it's really scary to consider that being real. Like, what if the spirit was trying to kill her, but then went after him? And if it was, who sent this after her? In her last days, Lisa reveals to her closest friends that she's feeling a spirit chasing her.
I have premonitions.
Dreams. I think it's the energy in the air.
There were times I just thought I was gonna die.
No, I think dreams can be super powerful. Sometimes I have the worst dreams, and then sometimes I don't dream at all. Actually, I prefer the nights I don't dream. Maybe that's like an unpopular opinion, because I feel like all my dreams are actually nightmares. But I must acknowledge that I feel like Left Eye kind of welcomed some of this. I don't mean to say that in a like mean way, but like, I mean, there are certain things that I think she did, especially as a spiritual person, that kind of welcomed this bad energy. I mean, there's a scene where she shares that she has the shoes of the boy who was killed by the bus that she rented and was in. I feel like keeping something symbolic like that is, again, just welcoming really bad energy.
You know what these are? These are the shoes that belong to the little boy.
And his last name was Lopes. Ain't that something?
Fast forward to her death. On April 25th, 2002, she died of a car accident just weeks before her 31st birthday. The accident took place in Honduras while filming a documentary. She was driving an SUV traveling from La Ceiba to another city, San Pedro Sula, when she lost control. She was not licensed to drive internationally, which I didn't really know that was a thing, and apparently was speeding when she lost control.
So Left Eye Lopes, one-third of the Grammy Award-winning trio TLC, was killed Thursday in a car crash while vacationing in Honduras. Out of the 8 people that were in the car, Lisa was the only fatality.
The vehicle plowed through some trees and rolled over several times. Lisa and 5 other people were in the vehicle. The tragedy was also caught on camera. You may have heard earlier she said she wanted everything to be on camera, recording the entire time. And that included the really scary, dark moments. Not it seeming so peaceful. I feel like I'm like waiting for something to jump out. I am stunned. Everything seems so peaceful. She's just driving and then like, I don't even understand how she lost control. Police said it veered off the road and turned over several times. Everyone else survived, but unfortunately, Left Eye was the only one to pass away. I found a simulation of how this vehicle could have gotten in such a tragic accident, so let's take a look at that.
Lopes was driving a rented SUV in the vacation destination of Roma. She pulled out to pass, but lost control of her car, which flipped over multiple times. The crash claimed her life at the scene. Fortunately, the other people in the SUV survived.
Okay, so she went to go and veer past another car, and that's kind of what led to it. So I want to go back to that original footage. We see her driving, okay, and you can see there's like a left side here. So I want to see if we can tell if she's moving over a little bit at all. I mean, you can't really tell because we don't really... Okay, keeping an eye over there. Is she moving to the side at all? Do we see her pass? Maybe... Ooh, that's when she turns. Oh, and then the flip. Now that we've seen it in like the virtual thing, it's almost so much worse to see it again. Her brother said, she used to say, energy doesn't die, it just transfers. So her energy is somewhere, and I think it's going to be remembered. I mean, obviously forever, because TLC is iconic. I've mentioned Aaliyah before in this podcast episode because there are some similarities. They both were away on a trip and then died while working on a project. After her death, an interview of her talking about Aaliyah's death resurfaced. Fans found it very eerie considering all the facts between them.
It did come as a shock. It's a pretty hard one to swallow, especially the way that she went, because there's so many ways that you can die, you know, and that's a pretty tragic way to go.
It is a tragic way for them to go, both trying to do something they love. This person commented, am I the only one who finds it strange that the last days and hours of Aaliyah and Left Eye were filmed? Another person commented, weird, a lot of celebrities die on the 25th of a month. And then finally, another person commented, what is ironic is that they both died tragic accidents. They were both in a foreign country, both were traveling with an entourage. Thank you for watching this clip from the Let's Get Into It podcast. To view the full episode, visit the link listed below.